Hey guys, it's MYM, and today I'm going to be showcasing some Villa Domination for you. The main reason I wanted to bring this commentary for you guys was using the Commando of dual mags, and obviously, you know, most of the gameplay you see with me is FAMAS in search or headquarters, or like the occasional Galil. Sometimes I've used the AUG, but most I just wanted to showcase different weapons because obviously, you know, since I'm done leveling up, you know, I don't want to keep showing the same thing because, you know, obviously the FAMAS is always going to be my favorite weapon, but, you know, I have about like 15 gold, so I mean, I might as well, you know, show off some of them in decent gameplays. But yeah, we're playing Villa Domination. I got 3 other of my friends here, so party of 4, and I felt that was probably one of the best ways to play Dom because you know, 6 people is real fun, but I found that just it's so easy that people just rage quit way too quickly, and you know, it takes forever to find people to rejoin the lobby, and you know, from that point on, you know, it just crapshoot about, you know, how many people we're gonna end up, you know, facing, and it's really just not that consistent. But yeah, the way we like to play Domination in general, at least the guys I roll with, is we like to 3-cap for as long as possible because, you know, a lot of people like to do, especially when they're solo, is, you know, just cap 2 flags, like either A, B, or C, B, and, you know, try to hold those 2 as long as possible, which is obviously, you know, the safe way to win in Domination. But since I roll usually with 3 or 4 guys in Dom, and sometimes even full parties, you know, it's in your best interest to push for 3-cap because, you know, you have that ability to not only flip the spawn, but also be on top of everything as far as, you know, gun skill against the enemy. And to be honest, it's just more exciting that way because, you know, when you're pushing for the 3-cap, you know, the spawns are always flipping. You know, they're for the most part not going to be changing too often unless you're playing a decent team where, you know, you have 2 flags more often than 3. But otherwise, you know, I found 3-capping them really keeps you on your toes because, like I said, you know, the spawn's always flipping, and, you know, depending on the type of player you are, you know, for me specifically, you know, I'm always running about. You know, in this particular video, you know, C's the one that they always end up capping for a little bit, but, you know, I'm always pushing their spawn, always harassing them, because, you know, even if I don't end up taking it back, you know, I end up pushing the spawn back to the garage, which is right on the left side of me right now. It's the bottom garage spawn, which is where closest to A. As long as I'm pushing into C flag, you know, that's probably where they're going to be spawning. Either that, or they're going to spawn near the top balcony where the fountain is. And, you know, I have teammates set up around those areas, so, you know, when they spawn there, you know, we can not spawn trap them, but we can obviously, you know, take them out quick enough so that, you know, if I do happen to stay alive around C, you know, we can get that flag and, you know, possibly hold that 3-cap for a while. But yeah, the Commando, I don't know, I'm weird because like I said, I've mostly used the FAMAS and the AK-47 while leveling up, and, you know, I just was never really used to the Commando's recoil. I mean, I don't know what it is. You know, most of my friends, they love this gun. This is like one of their favorite guns, but for some reason for me, you know, I just never got the hang of it. I mean, heck, going into, you know, this past week, I probably only had like 1,200 kills with it out of the 48,000 I have, and, you know, this week alone, I'm already up to about 1,700, so I've gotten about 500 kills alone this week with the Commando, which is pretty damn amazing, since, you know, even nowadays when I play Search, I mostly use the FAMAS, but in respawn game modes, you know, my margin of error is a little bit bigger, so I've been experimenting with different weapons. Mostly the assault rifles I've neglected, you know, aside from the AK, because that one I've given a lot of use. But guns like the Galil and the Commando, I've really taken a liking to because, you know, I guess I kind of forced myself to experiment with them because, you know, they're actually really good weapons. You know, it's just like, while I was leveling up, I wanted to use, you know, the best weapon for me, and that was obviously the FAMAS. But, you know, nowadays I can see why everyone loved guns like the Commando and the Galil. And in particular, you know, running them with dual mags, it really helps mitigate the slow reload of something like the Galil, and it makes the fast reload of something like the Commando, you know, even faster. Because I can see why that people really like this gun, because the iron sights are amazing. You know, I don't have to put a red dot. I mean, although I could, I sometimes do for Search, just because, you know, dual mags obviously isn't practical in Search. But, you know, I like to flip between a silencer and a red dot, and, you know, having that kind of versatility in weapon is very hard to find because, you know, some weapons, you know, it's just not that good without a red dot. I mean, personal opinion, but something like the M16, I really couldn't imagine myself using without a red dot, especially since it's mostly a precision long-range rifle. You know, you want to make sure that the shots you are getting at long distance are hitting, so, you know, obviously a red dot, you know, helps you as far as, you know, landing your shots better. But yeah, this weapon's really versatile because at least for me, it's been wrecking in medium-sized maps like something like Villa, and it's been doing real well on Havana. Even on a smaller map, I've been using it like on Grid and Summit. You know, it's been doing real well. Firing range, but mostly, you know, I found the best way to maximize this weapon's effectiveness is using it on the medium-sized maps because it's got the relatively low rate of fire. I think it's like 750 rounds per minute, and but it's got the high damage. So, you know, medium-sized maps, something like the ones I've mentioned, plus like Havana. You could classify jungle as it if you're sticking up like to the lines of sight that aren't really long distance. You can really wreck with this. But and long range, you can tap fire, and it's pretty good at long range too. You know, it's gonna move up a little bit more as far as recoil, but you know, like I said, burst fire and you should be fine. And hip fire, or in close quarters combat, you know, it's not really too ideal just because of the low rate of fire, which is where a weapon like the FAMAS, the AUG would shine, or a rapid fire SMG. But you know, it does its job for the most part. I mean, the hip fire isn't as good as something like the FAMAS or the G11, but you know, like I said, it's not completely terrible either in close range. It's just probably not as ideal, just because, you know, you'll probably get dropped by weapons that have a higher rate of fire, or with something that can deal a lot more damage up close, something like the Scorpion, which is a 2-hit kill up close. But yeah, I hope you guys like these kind of domination games where, you know, I don't get amazing kills. I think I end this game with about 40. And, you know, I know most people who watch domination games are from, like, Ground War, where someone ends up getting, like, 80-plus kills or 100 kills or something like that. But I don't really play Ground War much at all, to be honest. But, you know, I love 6v6 domination, and I felt like, you know, what am I right now? 37-7, 4 caps, 6 defends. You know, I feel being able to play the objective, you know, as far as capping and defending flags. I think there's a lag spike right here. Yeah, look, we all have 1 bar. That's why I kept running into my teammate. Yeah, like I was saying, I feel kind of gameplays where, you know, I'm playing the objective while also racking up a decent amount of kills is something that's decent to watch. If I'm wrong, you know, let me know. But finish this game 40-7 with 5 caps and 6 defends. Be putting out more domination gameplays if you guys want. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy this. Take care, everybody.